Okay, we're joined by the Texas Tech Red Raiders head coach Tim Tadlock, student athletes Caleb Killian and Josh Young. We'll start with a statement from the coach.
Well, let's see. Thought Alec Manoa was really good, obviously for 8 innings. Kept us off balance, mixed when he needed to, commanded the fastball. Thought Caleb was, thought our guy was equally as good and threw the ball awful well. And, just a baseball game, a few balls went their way. I thought White made a couple really good plays in the outfield, obviously. Definitely took 1 run off the board, which is what a good center fielder is supposed to do. He's, most guys that play center would say those are plays they need to make. And he can definitely make those. And, congratulations to West Virginia. They earned the right to win, and hopefully we'll get to see them again.
Okay, questions for our student athletes.
Josh, what did you see from Manoa tonight compared to, I guess, back when you guys saw him, whatever it was, 6 weeks ago or what have you?
He got up there, threw strikes when he needed to, got ahead of us, got ahead in counts, and he was just really effective with all his pitches tonight. I don't think last time his changeup wasn't as good as it was tonight. He had all 3 pitches working for him.
Caleb, with the situation where you're facing off against a guy like that, does that matter to you at all? Do you prefer that kind of competition out there with the other guy, or is it not really a consideration at all for you?
I think I prefer it because there's going to be a dude on the other side, and it gives you something to compete with. I just want to do better than he does, but unfortunately he got that today.
Caleb, you take away a stretch of 2 or 3 batters, and you might have left with zeros on the board. Can you kind of walk me through that sequence of those 2 or 3 plays?
Yeah, I think I might have just missed my spots. Probably going to get the ball down. I let the slider up. It got hit. They scored their run. But, I made mistakes. I just try to do my best to get past that.
Any more questions for the student athletes?
May have already been asked, but Josh, how was tonight different against Manoa than last time?
He was pretty much the same. He got on the mound and had a great performance. Just made strikes when he needed to, made pitches when he needed to. Defense was really good as well.
How frustrating was it to have the number of opportunities that you guys have as runners in scoring position and not be able to come through more?
Yeah, it's frustrating, but I think on the other side of it, they made some plays. Their center field had a few dogging plays that took runs off the board for us. So I'd say it is frustrating to look at the numbers that way, but seeing how they took those runs off the board, it builds confidence for us because we put the balls in play. They just made plays.
Okay, guys, we'll let you get back and get you some rest and get ready for tomorrow. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
We thought you were going to phone in, John.
Jump in here quick. I came down.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, guys. Questions for the coach?
Tim, it may be too soon, but the reliever that took that one off the knee, any feel for what he's looking like?
We really don't know. It hit him under the knee. Hadn't heard anything yet.
What can you say about Caleb's effort tonight? He was really, punch for punch with Manoa there for the first 7 innings at least.
Yeah, I thought he was outstanding. Commanded the fastball, the breaking ball, and the changeup, and really matched him pitch for pitch, and gave us an opportunity to win the game, put us in position to win the game. There's a time there where we kind of knew Caleb was coming out of the game based on pitch count. We kind of thought we ran Manoa's pitch count up to 75 in the 5th, I think. It was a 25-pitch inning, and if we could have had one more of those, you think you could get him out. But then again, he went 126, so maybe not. He's a tough kid, and I'm sure, he made pitches through the 8th. I answered more than the question, didn't I?
Tim, you got leadoff batter on in 5 of the first 6 innings. Of course, only scored 1. Did you feel like you're doing what you wanted to do in terms of giving yourself opportunities, just getting it.
Yeah, I thought we had opportunities. I mean, we talked about the 2 plays White made. He also throws the guy out. You know, at third base there early on a stolen base, makes a perfect throw. Thought Cody did a good job there as far as just being aggressive. And yeah, I mean, you can't argue. You don't want to complain about having base runners for sure. And against a guy like Manoah, you're not going to get a hit every time. It's going to be about executing and getting guys over and getting them in. And didn't do a whole lot of that, but at the same time, like you said, we had some base runners, so that's a positive.
What did you see on the ball where Gabe got doubled off at second?
Yeah, I think Gabe might have thought it might get through for just a half a second, just long enough for them to catch it, and ball just barely beat him. Good thing on that was balls hit hard.
How does this loss change y'all's approach for the rest of the championship?
Our approach really is to come out and play the highest level we can each day, no matter what day of the year is, no matter where we are, whether it's a real game or an inter squad. We want to respect the game, play the game the right way, and we'll go about that wherever we are. So, gives us an opportunity. I mean, to maybe play an extra game or 2, which could be good moving forward. I mean, who knows? They might get some guys innings. And I'm not saying you assume you're playing an extra game or 2. You got to earn the right to win tomorrow. And but if you keep going, you're obviously not going to play the same 8 guys for however many games that is. Some guys are going to get an opportunity if you can get on a roll.
Are you going to go with Bryce tomorrow?
Yes.
Anything else?
Yep. Great.
We'll
Appreciate
let the coach
y'all.
get to bed and get some rest.
Thanks.
See you tomorrow, Coach. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we're joined by the West Virginia Wildcats. It's a long day, Coach. I'm sorry.
Ain't over yet, buddy.
Yeah. The West Virginia Mountaineers and Weber, and student athletes Brandon White and Alec Manoah. We'll start with words from the coach.
Wow, it's been a long day. Jeez. Starting with the first game being played so long, it's changing routines. You know, we always say if there's any kind of adversity or anything, weather, delays, anything, advantage Mountaineers, because if you play baseball West Virginia, you got to get used to stuff like that. So the more we sit around, the more I think that works to our advantage. And we kind of knew going into it with AK versus Killian that it was going to be a game just like that. You know, that the over-under was going to be really, really low on that game, and held true to form. You know, both of those guys were really, really good. Killian's been really, really good his whole career here. He's really hard to hit, and when we scored in the whatever inning it was, I heard Darius Hill yell out of the dugout, "It's taken us 3 years, but we finally scored off this guy." And he's that good, you know. But our guys are grinders, man. AK, just unbelievable grinder. Throws the pudge all the time. He's an unbelievable grinder. It's just the makeup and the chemistry of our team, and you guys are seeing it. You know, the kind of kids we have. I mean, the catches Brandon White makes in center field are ridiculous. He's been doing it for 3 years. he's a human highlight film. But aside from that, changed the game. Took a run off the board, the one he made over his head, and the one in front of him. If he doesn't make that catch, that's Gabe Holt you're putting on the bases, and that guy changes the game on the bases. So I couldn't be prouder of not just these two guys, but everybody.
Okay, questions for our student athletes?
Brandon, did you think you had that from the get-go?
No, not really. I just got a good jump on it and just hope for the best, really.
What about the one you made the inning after that you dove for coming in?
It just hung up in the air. I didn't realize it was going to stay up as long. I just got to it.
And the ball that you threw out the guy at third base on the...
Say it again?
And how about the throw that you made to throw out the guy at third base on after the steal?
Oh, it's just luck of the draw, really, on that one. Good bounce right there. He put a good tag on him.
Is that a normal game for you, or
I mean, I try my best out there. I mean, any opportunity I get, I'm trying to run with it.
Are you better going back or coming forward?
I don't know. I'd say going back.
Alec, I'm curious, someone like you who goes deep into games with regularity, how you approach pacing a little bit, so you're not burning out, and you're just as strong in the 8th inning, for example, as you were in the first inning.
Yeah, there's no pace. I just go out and I'm just trying to win at bats, and in the later innings I let my competitiveness take over. I don't really think start a game and try to pace it off, because any team in this league can beat you in the first inning. So and then I'm playing catch up. So just go out and attack every hitter and let my competitiveness take over, and let my work throughout the week, just show off. I work really hard between starts, and I think I'm in good shape to be able to throw late in games this late in the year. It's because of that.
Alec, Tech had the leadoff batter on 5 of the first 6 innings, and they were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. How much did you have to bear down? How many high-intensity pitches did you have to make, since you're dealing a lot with runners at first and second and so forth?
Yeah, it's just it's the same thing when there's nobody on. Just trying to make pitches, just trying to get outs, and hopefully Brandon White makes 2 crazy catches and throws a guy out. So yeah, just trying to get hitters out. Whatever happens. I can't control much. When the ball leaves my hand, I can just control everything that happens before that.
What did you say to this cat back in the dugout for that first catch?
I said thank you. I said thank you. I'll get you a steak wherever you want. I got it.
Did you have a sense when the ball left the bat that you were in trouble?
So the ball went up. I looked back and I said, "Oh, it's B-White." And then I saw him put his head down, and he usually does that when he has to take off, and it's way over his head. And I was like, "Damn!" And then I saw him put his head back up and catch it, and I was like, "No way!" Yeah, it was unreal. We see him do that all the time in practice. It's crazy.
Alec, yesterday Coach Tadlock said the game that you pitched against Tech at West Virginia, he said was one of the best games he had ever seen. He compared to one that Max Scherzer threw a no-hitter against Tech back in 2005. How did that game that night kind of rank in your best performances, and maybe how was tonight different?
I thought probably one of my best outings. I've been throwing the ball well all year, and I thought honestly tonight was better. To be able to go put up double-digit strikeouts against a team like that twice, it's kind of hard to do. I know they were coming out aggressive. Studied a little bit of Josh Young's interview yesterday, and heard him say they didn't want to get 0-2. So I was ready to bring the smoke to them too. So they're great hitters. They're obviously outright won the conference. So just extremely blessed to be able to throw the ball well against them twice.
Josh said your changeup was better tonight than it was in Morgantown. I don't know if you needed to go that route, because I feel like the fastball sometimes we're getting a little up. Sometimes you kept tapping that hip or whatever. But
yeah, just mental cues. Stay on my backside, drive downhill. We've been working on the changeup all year, just throwing it a little bit more. And when a team wants a piece of you, they're going to come out swinging, and then you just let them swing it there with a few changeups. So. I didn't overthink it, that I really needed the changeup. I just thought, I read their swings on some fastballs and thought, throwing the changeup would be a good idea, and just happened to be that I threw it more, now than I did back in April.
Okay, guys, we'll let you go and get rest. You guys are off tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, enjoy.
The Wildcats are off, baby.
Thank you. Just don't tell your athletic director I said that Shane's way too big. Okay, we'll start with questions now for the head coach.
Coach, have you ever had a guy like Alec just with that type of pent-up energy and fire to him?
I've had a lot of pitchers in 30 years of coaching, and a lot of really good ones. I had Jake Arrieta at TCU and Andrew Kashner, who's in the Orioles rotation, pitching really well. A lot of good guys. And whole package, Alec Manoah is arguably the best one I've had with the stuff that he has, the velocity he has. He has 3 pitches that he can throw for strikes really at any time. And throw on top of that the competitiveness and the fire and desire and commitment and the selflessness. You don't understand that guy, the second half of the season, has every reason to go out there and pitch for himself because next Monday is draft day, and it's been a huge part of this season for him, and for him to just go out there and just throw his heart on the field for the Mountaineers in spite of that shows a lot about what kind of person he is, that he's still fighting for the name on the front of the jersey and not the one on the back, and that's just a testament to him.
But the kind of shape that he's in, and the pitch count, forgive me, I'm from Lubbock, so I don't keep track of all his games as far as the amount of pitches, but was he on any kind of count tonight, or just because he's so good and in such good shape, you let him roll through 8?
Yeah, he's gone. We train our guys to throw up to 130 pitches. We feel like if you're a starting pitcher in the Big 12, between our trainer and our strength coach and the work we do, we feel like our guys can do that. He just happens to be just as good at pitch 125 as he is at pitch 1. He just, like you said, when you get in the middle of the game, his pride kicks in, his competitiveness kicks in, and he gets better. And I've never had a guy do that to that degree to get so much better throughout the game. He came up to me in the 5th inning, and he said, "We got this. Their guy's getting tired. I'm getting better." And I think that attitude he's telling his teammates that. And I think that just filters right through the whole dugout, that if he can be like that, why can't we be like that? So that's why we play so well when he pitches, because he makes us.
Coach, a moment ago you touched on how Gabe Holt changes a game, how big a play was it there in the 5th, I think, when he's on second after the error, and you double him off for the first out of the inning.
Yeah,
second out of the inning.
Huge part of this game was instant replay, Seemed like, the game this morning lasted about 10 hours, and then the second game lasted about 12 hours. And here we come with about 4 or 5 replays and umpires getting hit. And it just seemed like there was no flow to that game once you got in the middle. But that could have been the biggest play of the game, doubling him off second base on that replay call. Because when he's out there, he's man on second, nobody out, it's bad enough. But when it's him, to get out of that inning without giving up a run, when it's a 1-run game, that was that changed the momentum of that game for sure.
Is replay working to your satisfaction yet?
I love replay. I think I love it as a fan when I come to the other games. It's when there's a call, when those guys go underneath to look at the monitor, I think it's kind of exciting waiting for them to come out and make the call. There's been games changed. There's been walk-offs changed by instant replay. And, the object is to get all the calls right. Whatever that takes, I'm in favor of it. I think we need to tweak it a little bit and do a few things different. But it dang sure cuts down on the arguments and the coaches running on the field. And I don't believe coaches should be allowed on the field at all at any time. I think that slows the game down tremendously. So I like the fact that, it's easier to get along with those guys now because of replay, and they're in favor of it too. So, we're kind of learning as we go. We're learning as we go too to keep our hat up and our eyes on the camera, even though the lights are in our face. Yesterday we were a little bit like this, and nobody at home could see our eyes, but today we got a smile on our face and we got our head up. So we learn as we go, man. If you're in a Mountaineer uniform, you learn as you go.
So you were critiquing how you looked on TV?
My wife was critiquing how I looked. I was talking about Whammer.
Okay, Coach, it looks like we're done here. Get you some rest tomorrow. Enjoy your day off. You've earned it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks, guys.